Welcome back to another Black Women in Projects Presents with myself, Honor, and Elena. So, Elena, what are we talking about today?
So today we're going to discuss what you should and shouldn't do in interviews. Just a quick overview of, what are our bugbearers when we're interviewing people, the poor practices we've seen, and looking at what you could do instead. So, Anna, do you want to give a first example of what you've seen and what you really dislike when you're interviewing people?
Okay. And I think we're both going to come at this from the point of view of when we're interviewing, what we've seen that we've thought, oh, no way. And also as when we're interviewed as well, things that we've seen that has landed well and basically gotten us through. So the first thing I would say when I'm interviewing is when you're asked that generic question of, tell us about your work history. And then the person starts from 1900 and starts from there, instead of what you should do is start with your most relevant history. So it doesn't even matter that your most relevant role might have been the job before your current one. Start with the most relevant things and then talk us through there. And it should be a whistle stop tour, not an in-depth thing of every single thing that you did, because by then you've bored the interviewers, and they're just waiting for the agony to end. Elena, what's your first one?
My first one is around people reading from their preparation sheets. This seems to be a new thing that a new trend that people are doing. Obviously, you need to prepare for your interview, and it's good to write down your, potential responses to questions in advance. But by no means should you be reading from the sheets in which you've prepared your answer. It should all be in your head. If you need to go over your approach or your methodology for how you're going to state or reiterate the content of your question, then by all means do that. But you've got to remember and feel confident that actually this is something that you've done. So you should be able to talk about it naturally and freely, not read it from a piece of paper. To me, that indicates that, A, you haven't prepared for the interview, and makes me question whether you actually did have those skills and the experience for the question or the example that you're giving me. So don't read from a sheet of paper.
Yeah, that's a good one. For me, another one is don't just focus on one job when you're giving your examples. I've seen people that question after question that you're asked is still the one job that you're using as an example. What that shows to me as an interviewer is that you don't have enough experience. The fact that you're only going to one job to give me an example means you don't have the depth or breadth of experience that I'm looking for. So please do, as Alina has said, prepare so that you can be able to pick from your different roles to give examples about what you're trying to put across. So just coming up with the one job, it might be your favorite job, but still try and broaden things out, touch upon the different roles that you've had to draw the experience. It shows that you're well-rounded. It shows that you've got a depth of experience. And also, quite frankly, it's not boring. If you're going on the same one over and over again, it's like, ugh. So try and make it a bit broader.
I agree with that. For me, another one is your answers have to show your experience. So don't just give theoretical answers. Obviously, in the project program management world, it's easy to go to, framework examples or task examples and, cite exactly what the theory is. But we want to see how you've used those tools in practice. And I feel again that the more theoretical your answer, again, it's not showing me that you've actually done it. It's showing me that maybe you've just passed your qualification and don't know how to implement what you've learned. So make your examples practical. demonstrate your experience of how you've used those tools and templates.
That's a really good one. I bet you've had interviews where it sounded like the person was just reading from the Agile Manifesto or from the Prince 2 workbook, didn't it?
Exactly, yeah. And you're wondering why.
Yeah, and it's the
we know the
quickest
basics
way
of
to
this.
demonstrate that. Yeah. Sorry, say that again, Alina.
No, I was just saying it. It just questions everything. Yes. So one of my key things is make sure, again, it's sort of related to preparation, but make sure you've got questions to ask. You need to show that you are interested in the job. By not having any questions, to me, that's demonstrating that either you haven't really researched about the company, even from a contractor's perspective. You need to have some inkling about what the company does. You need to have some interest in the role. The questions that you ask demonstrate that you are interested and you want to find out more, and that's always important.
Yeah. I have interviewed a few people who have used that asking question section to really bring home the interview. That, like, I was thinking maybe I'm on the fence about this person, but the questions that they asked were so good. And then they did this tactic where I respond and give them an answer to their question. They then use that answer to demonstrate even more why they're suitable. And it showed me that, they're very good at listening and capturing information on the fly, and thinking on the fly like that. And then they've now pointed out a few more things about themselves that made me think, oh yeah, this person's could possibly be good for the role. So what you're saying, Alina, is very, very good in terms of research and ask good questions, not the standard questions of when will I hear about the interview, and when will I get the output of the interview. Those are standard, boring questions.
So those are a few of the things that you need to consider when you're having an interview. Some of our pet peeves around what people do, and alternatives as to what you can do instead. Remember, we are here to help you. So if you need help with your interview, we can provide coaching or mentoring on that. And please visit our website. Our links are in the footer for the video. Visit our Instagram, LinkedIn page. Use us to help you to become better, more professional, and to get that job that you need. Until next time, thank you and bye.